To anybody watching this, good morning. I never even thought about making videos like this. I really never did, to be honest with you. But I think if there's any time to start doing this, I think it's now. And we live in a very demonic world. We live in a very, very twisted and demonic world. I know we have been for a while, and I think it's been hard because I don't think anyone realized it right away. I didn't realize it right away. You know what I mean? I had a pretty good childhood. I grew up in a stable home, and you know, I was always told about the American dream and what have you, but I've just realized even recently, things have gotten just so incredibly twisted and bad. And I think it's a lot of things. I think it's between AI and just all the stuff going on in the world. I don't know when you're watching this, but the stuff going on with Israel and the stuff going on with... It's intimidating. It really is intimidating. And I understand why so many people struggle nowadays is because the system wants you to fail. This whole system wants you to fail from the time you're little, from the time you're growing up, especially nowadays. I look at kids and I look at young people, and I really think it's hard because it's designed to fail. You know? I chose a different avenue of life. 4 years ago, I found out that my girlfriend was pregnant with our son. And for most people, that's when your life is over. People always say that. Oh, your life's over, you're starting a family, this and that. Or some people get an abortion, or all this other apparently normal stuff. Apparently that stuff is normal nowadays, and it has been for a while, I get that, but being raised the way I was raised, in a faith-based home, so was my girlfriend, we decided to embrace it. Hey, get out of here. Go play somewhere else. Get out of here. I embraced it. Okay? And it was one of the hugest turning points in my life. Understandably. The point is here I am 4 years later. Me and my wife have a house. I have a yard. I have a beautiful son who's going to be 4 years old this December. We have chickens running around. I have my 2 dogs. And I don't say that to sound materialistic. I'm just saying that I found a way to almost break out of the system, for as crazy as it sounds. I'm 24 years old. I'm married. I started a family. I found a career that I actually love to do. And I live righteously. I try my absolute best to live righteously and raise my son and raise our family in a faith-based home and lead as a faith-based husband and father. Now, it's not easy. I get that, but the world doesn't tell you that that's an option. I accidentally stumbled into it. I was 20 years old. My girlfriend was 19. It was a crazy environment, and she got pregnant with our son, and it's like God just opened this door and was like, you know what? You don't have to go down this path that everyone's going down. Here, take this one. And I embraced it. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm a little bit biased. I love my family. But the point is, I think everyone should be doing that. Which sounds terrible. I mean, I don't know. You see so many people who are struggling nowadays, or even if you are struggling, or you know someone who's struggling, right? And You're following along with what everyone else is doing. You're scrolling on your phone all day. You don't have purpose. You don't know what you want to do with your life, right? Or maybe you're following some influencer who's telling you, oh, start an OnlyFans. Get famous on TikTok. You can make money that way. Or, even the people who were like super into self-improvement, they're like, oh, screw everybody. If you don't have $1 million, you're no one. Listen, coming from experience, right? I was young at one point. When I was 18, 19, 20 years old, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I mean, I was faking it till I made it, right? But I didn't have any real true purpose. And it kind of messed me up. And it stunted my growth in a way. Like, I didn't think I was going to have a house until I was like in my mid-30s, right? I was like, well, that's what everyone else does. Everyone else just kind of drags their feet for 10 years and messes around and parties and sleeps around. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad and happy at the same time, because there's so many people who are missing out on this life. I never knew this life existed for me at this age. I would have never thought I would have been here, but this is possible for anybody. This is possible for anybody. If you're looking for purpose, if you don't really know what you want to do with your life, right? You want to do something. You know that you have potential in your heart. You need to find a relationship with God. I think that's step number one. And I know that could be hard for a lot of people. Maybe you had a bad experience in church, or you think, oh, I don't need God, I don't need this. Listen, you at least have to have faith. You have to have faith. Faith is what got me and my family here, right? I think that's 100% your first thing you have to do is you have to have faith, right? Whether you think it's stupid, whether you think you don't need it, whatever. I'm here to tell you, you can do it without it. It's not going to be genuine, right? It says in the Bible to build your house upon the rock. And when you do that, you can weather the storms. You can get through the hard times. And you can still be humble and loving and caring through all of that. Without faith, it's not the way you want to go. And I think after that is to find someone who's like-minded. Find a spouse who's like-minded, right? They don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect. My wife's not perfect. But guess what? We have the same morals. We have the same faith. We want the same thing for our family, our future family, right? And you have to accept responsibility. I really think as a man, like, I think if you're frustrated and you're not seeing any growth and you don't know where to go, accept some responsibility. My responsibility was starting family. And I needed that. I was young for my age. I was like a lot of people. I was like a lot of kids my age. And it changed my life. Incredibly fast. And for the better. You know what I mean? I just think a lot of younger people should know that. Especially in this world. We don't have a lot of freedom left. This world is going down pretty fast. And I'm not a person to be like that. I've always been an optimist. I've always tried to be positive, but the world we're living in now, there's almost a sense of urgency. I wouldn't wait. With the little bit of freedom we have left, start a family. Start going to church. Okay? Whether I get it. Church is a hard one, okay? Church is it skeeves a lot of people out. People get nervous. Life is so much better with it though, man. When you have faith and you can weather the storms and you can grow an amazing family and you can find a spouse that's like-minded and grow as a person. I really think the world needs more of that. I think a lot of the world's problems and a lot of young people's problems would be solved if you at least pursued that. okay? And then the last thing is, people say things are expensive, right? Oh, okay, well, I see what you're saying. You say you want me to go to church and find a wife and start a family, but how am I going to afford that? You will. Your job as a man is to protect and provide. And it's going to be hard at times. It's going to be hard at times. But as a man, you find a way to make it work. I found a way to make it work. Okay? When my son was born, I was working a job. I was working my tail off, working on trucks and trailers, and the people up the street at Chick-fil-A were making more money than me. Okay? I made it work. I made it work. I pushed myself in my career. I found a job where I can make some more money and provide for my family a little bit better. You know? You just make it work. So many people sit there and they overcomplicate and like, well, the housing market and this and that, and you know, I want to save up for 10 years before I do anything. Dude, listen. I don't believe in that. I think it's a bunch of crap. Okay? You could be 50, 60, 70 years old and have millions of dollars and not have a family and not have a relationship with God. It's like, well then what is that even for? You know what I mean? As a man, you find a way to make it work. I found a way to make it work. And I'm nobody special. I'm just a man. I'm flawed in ways. I have my vices. I have my struggles. I'm not perfect. I don't have a perfect relationship with God, but I made it work. And anyone else can too. Anyone else can too. This world wants to tell you that none of this is possible, right? Starting a family is too much money, right? Getting married is too much money. Having a house, too much money. You don't want it. Live alone, right? Scroll on your phone all day. Watch porn. Dude, it's such a scam. It's such a scam. And this seems like common sense, but there's so many people who just follow that. Hey, get over here. Charlie. Hey, get over there. Come here. Now these dogs. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. I have a very blessed life. And my job is extremely fulfilling. Being a husband and being a father is extremely fulfilling. It is extremely fulfilling. I don't care what kind of job you have or, you know, what kind of career or nothing comes close to that. You can sit here arguing with me all day long. Nothing comes close to being a father, being a man of God, being a husband, and combining all that. Like, that's what we're genetically made to do. We're not made to just sit around and watch porn and scroll on our phones and have no purpose in life and, you know, worship some OnlyFans model. Like, that's a bunch of crap, dude. That is a bunch of crap. And there's so much potential for everyone out there. And I get it. I get it. Sometimes marriages and families have bad stigmas. People say, oh, I was raised in a broken home. I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to... Listen, dude. Whatever. You're not going to change my mind. You could sit there and have no purpose in life and pursue your career 110 or 120% and never even think about having a family. And guess what? It's an empty road. It is a dead-end street. Living without God and being lustful and living with pride is a dead-end street. And I don't think anyone deserves to live that. I don't think anyone deserves to live that. You know? So, my son is sitting here watching me now. What are you doing, man?
You said get with me.
I'll be right there, buddy.
Go away.
Find a good spouse. Get a relationship with God. Start going to church a little bit more. Embrace that. And start a family. And as a man, you will succeed. And it'll be the best job you ever have. Come here, buddy. You want to give me a hug?
Oh,
It'll be the best job you ever have. Until next time, enjoy.